Check, Mike. Mike, check. I got so much crap in my way. Okay. Mic check, mic check. Mic check. Microphone check, mic check, mic check, 1, 2. Microphone check, mic check, mic check, 1, 2. Okay, it's working. Microphone check, mic check, mic check, 1, 2. Okay, it's working. Oh. Trying to get this exactly the same on both sides. That's that. Somewhere about right there. It's going to be close. That piece just ain't big enough. Go figure. Don't need a whole piece. So this body's not going to be terribly complicated, guys. I had plans on doing a rather extravagant design, and unfortunately, I was talked out of it. But I get why. The dimensions of a real race car. Hey, Bob, what's going on? So the dimensions of a real race car and the dimensions of a body for an RC car are not the same. So what I had plans was copying a real life body, but it had what's called a heartbeat, which would have been a drop and then an up. The proportion of where the drop would be kind of hidden, like by a lot, probably by numbers. So it's one of those things where realistically it just doesn't make sense. So break time. Yeah, it's my project is this has been a long learning curve, and you guys haven't seen this one yet, so I'll give you a sneak peek. So this is what I'm building. Yes, that is not correct. I know. It's a little off. But this was the Pro Short Course 10 that was my drag car, and I've scrapped it back to a Pro Short Course 10, and I'm making a modified out of this, and we're making a Sportsman's modified. So that's what this is becoming, and then I'm going to buy a DR10 kit car and build that accordingly. So that's where I'm going with this. So because these panels are funky and the proportions of this body is not very kosher to real life modified bodies, so you kind of have to improvise a little bit on the design, and I'm giving up some design. I'm okay with it. I don't have much of an option. So got a couple things. My workbench is a disaster. You probably have already figured all that out. This is kind of cool. It's a 3D printed cap that I did. No, our session has not started yet, Bob. Ours starts, I think, the same time. The outdoor tracks are open for testing, but they have not really done any racing yet. So that's one of those things where I'm behind the game because I don't have it built yet. I've not done I've done nothing with it. I don't even know what to expect. I'm just gonna have some fun with it. So, buddy of mine I'm racing with does have experience with his, thankfully. So we are kind of golden on, or at least I hope. I'm gonna change this up. How do I want to do this? I guess I'm gonna make these black. Black. I'll pull these out later. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do those later. The roof is going to be black. The deck is all green. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the most serious professional person you're ever going to meet. I think I've come to the conclusion I enjoy building and painting probably more than I actually do racing. And that's scary. I don't know why. So, and I know some people are just like that. So, back to this. This is a 3D printed cap that's I don't know how you want to word it. It's a vapor-proof container that uses a mason jar, but it vents out the top. So you can use it to clean your airbrush into, like with your solvents and stuff. It's kind of cool. So I'd seen that and I'm like, I'm going to print it. Let's see what happens. So don't feel like I'm getting a lot of paint out because I'm probably not. Let's take the tip off. Yeah, it's definitely going all the way back. That tip's dirty. Do it the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna pour black paint all over my work clothes, and I'm gonna get pissed. Probably should have changed. It's overrated. That's better. That's much better. Mo better. It's an awful. This is a big body. This is going to take a while. Okay. Sorry, guys. Wife came out, chatted for a few, and then she decided to shart on me, and then she left. So, fixed the airbrush. It was jammed up, so gave it a nice deep cleaning real quick. That's when I muted it because she was behind me talking. So, I apologize. That's not ready to go. So I'm going to let that sit up for a few minutes. Let's go ahead and let's get our other panels out that need to be black, which would be these guys. That's that panel. This panel needs to be black. Oh. That's that panel. Okay, let's go ahead and put a good thick coat on this guy now. Looks dry. That's that one. So let's go back to the cell panels. It's kind of nice. A tip I can give you is use a white or a colored backdrop of some sort when you're painting black. Makes it a lot easier to see what you're doing, and then you know where it's if it's thick or not. So some painting tips that I do is I'll do contoured edges first. Like this is the lip, so there's a lip. Kind of hard to see, but I'll do that lip first. I also try to change the directions that I paint when I do layers. Because if you do a layer this way every time, you could technically leave like some zebra stripes. Not saying it's going to happen all the time, but that possibility is there. So I try to change the direction that I paint. So that panel is done. Let's do that panel. If I don't knock over everything and spill all my paint. Ugh. Awesome. That's the only thing I do during this project. I'm doing pretty good. I lost my balance on my seat. It's my problem. That's that panel. Stuff is getting wet, which is what I want. It's just getting a little out of hand. So that's that panel. Two sides are done. Two cell panels are done. And I'm going to paint the roof. Yeah, the roof is going to be black. Trying not to touch the paint, the fresh plastic as much as possible, because your fingerprints will leave behind, and sometimes it can affect your paint. So, like right there, I can see my fingerprint. Always your first coat should be pretty light, thin, kind of even across everything. Don't have to go crazy with it. I usually go pretty soft on my first coat. Back up your airbrush or your can, whatever you're using. Honestly, rattle cans, you can get just as good as a job with a rattle can as you can with an airbrush when it comes to mass panels like this. As long as you take your time, you don't get runs, you back up your can, shake it real well. It's all about prep work more than anything. That's why I said I love painting. So, like, this is an example of what I would call a really good first coat. Nice thin layer. So, you compare that to this, you can see the difference on how dark that is, and you can even see it's still wet in a couple spots. So, that's the difference from a base coat, like a first coat, and that's 2 coats. I'll probably do another one on all of these to be exact. So, what else is going to be black? The front panel is going to be black. The sides are black. Yeah, I got too many panels. I need to focus on these before I start doing these little ones. All of this stuff up here is all body panels too. It's kind of half green, half black. So let's go with this guy. I'll bring it back, guys, once the air compressor's off. Okay, air compressor's off. I think my pressure's up slightly too high. Let me turn that down a little. I feel like my tip's drying in the middle of these longer strokes, like what I'm doing, these body panels. That panel's looking good. Let's go ahead and put a big thick coat on the hood, or the roof, I should say, not the hood, sorry. This is what I mean by changing your directions. If I did this hood this time this way, every single time I painted it, you might get stripes. I feel like it's not working right. Using Proline paints, by the way, guys. That's pretty much all I use anymore. Yeah, this tip's getting dirty again. Getting clogged. One base coat down. A little thin still. I'm okay with it. So now let's do the light test. Actually, I need to do a thick coat on this guy first, because it's already got one base coat on it. Let's do the light test. Hold up your panel, take a look at it through a light, and you'll see where it's thin and thick. It's like this one is on the thin side. My finger's hurting. Pushing too hard. That's a lot better. I'm running out of room. Let's check these side panels out real fast. See if the thickness is good. I'll go one more coat. They look pretty good, but I'm just to be safe. That's that panel. Let's go ahead with this guy. One more time. Yeah, it's not bad. We'll hit it one more time. You don't need it. Finger hurts. Okay. So I got those done. Sides are done. Cell panels are still drying. Let's go to this guy. Tip is drying on me again. I can already tell you, it's still not enough. It's thin in the middle. Let's go ahead and hit that some more. Just, it's this thing is being crazy again on me. Let's give her another cleaning real quick, and then we'll do another good coat. It's a cheap airbrush. I apologize, guys. It's a little painting that I get the opportunity to do. I don't justify the cost in investing in a really good airbrush, even though I would love to have one. I can't bring myself to it. Not for what I'm able to get out of what I do now. It'd be different if I was painting more, or if I started charging people to paint bodies, that kind of stuff, then maybe I can justify it. But I think this is my 7th body I've got to paint with this airbrush. And I don't really have a motivation to get a new one. I'll just keep fighting with this one. It's the little airbrush that could. And yes, I am fully aware that a better airbrush will probably give me a better outcome paint job. I ain't gonna argue with you on that. But again, I'm not doing detailed work. I'm not doing little stuff. I'm doing big panels. Most of my stuff I cut with my circuit anyway. So I usually have pre-designs already done for masking. You can see how much better it sprays when it's clean. How much quicker I can cover a panel. Give you an idea. That's the coverage. So we are down to side, cell panel. That one should be good. I believe that one needs another coat. Yeah, that one definitely needs another coat. Here comes the rain. It's a nice thick coat. So that one should be done after this coat here. Put that back up there. Let's check this one to make sure I got full coverage on it. I'm going to hit it one more time just to be safe. Last thing I want to do is have a black panel that's not really black. Okay, that's that one. Set that over there, out of the way. Sides done. Cell panels are done. That's done. Let's do black for the roll bars. Feel free to type away, chat. I'm not gonna ignore you. I promise. I actually enjoy interacting with you guys, the viewers, and I rarely get the opportunity to live stream anymore. And I enjoy doing it, and I hope you guys do too. And I know painting is not exactly the most exciting thing to watch, but it is what it is. I don't have much say in it, because I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me struggle building a vehicle, trying to figure out what parts fit and what parts don't fit. So that's those two. Let's go with this little guy. Let's go with this little guy. And these two. I'm only doing the black today, so this will not get finished. The green and the white that you see over here will be done another day. I'm not going to have enough time tonight to do it. And my goal is to finish this body this weekend. So maybe I will bring you guys back for some live feed video footage of this getting finished. That's my game plan anyway. So, but today is part 1 of these. So, remember, first coat's always light. Nice, light, thin coat. It's a tack coat. Some people call it other things, but I've always called it tack coat. That's that one. Let's go with this panel. That's good enough for that. This guy. I probably should be wearing gloves because my fingers get covered, but whatever. Come on. I'll bring it back when the air compressor kicks off. I'm back. It's that panel. My fingers are getting covered, might I add. Oh, this is getting to be a pain. That's that panel. Out of black a little bit more. I don't have a whole lot of black left to paint, so I don't need a ton more in my hopper. Okay. I think we got one more coat on these panels, and then I think we're going to call it done for the night because I believe everything else is good. Let's check the roof real fast. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. These panels are going to take a beating, so I want them to sit up for a while so that way I don't have any cracking problems. So it's one of those things where I like to paint a body and let it sit for a while because I got to put all these nuts and bolts in it. I don't know if you can see this pile right here. That pile of nuts and bolts. That's what holds this body together. So the last thing I want to do is put this together with this paint being extremely fresh, because that's just going to cause nothing but problems and scratches and everything else, and it's going to look god awful, which is what I don't want. So while I'm waiting for these to dry a little bit, let's go ahead and clean our airbrush one more time to get ready for the final coat of black. Sure you guys can hear the rain. My mic is pretty good, so you should be able to hear that. It's starting to come down pretty good, actually. My garage door is about, I don't know, 8 feet that way towards you guys. Actually, where you're sitting, where the camera is for you guys, it's about 2 foot behind you. So that's that. Oops, didn't want to put that on there. Pull the needle out one more time. She's definitely a little boogery. It could probably be thinned up just a little bit, the Proline paint. It depends on the paint. Some of their paints are a lot better for being ready out of the bottle, and some aren't. Like the silver that I have is an aluminum. They call it aluminum anyway, and it is god awful to shoot as it is. I have to turn the pressure up to get it to shoot through, and that's still a stretch. I don't know if it's because of the metal flake that's in it or what, or if it's just me and my cheap airbrush. Don't know which one it is. So let's go ahead and do round number 2 on these guys. See, now it's not painting right. It's very inconsistent. That's my complaint. But again, what do you expect? It's a cheap airbrush. What I mean by cheap, it was like $24. Yeah, that ain't painting hardly anything. Nope. Well, yeah, tip. Let's try this again. Dump it in. Tear it apart. Let's get a fresh towel this time. If I can get to it. Paint thinner's your friend. And that's actually what I have in that container. So if this still fights me, then we're going to get some paint thinner out. It's a little better. Actually, no, it's not. I don't know if it's because it's out of paint. Nope. Since needle. Come on. That's better. Okay. Let's put a little bit more paint in this. And let's finish this body up, guys. That's that. Don't need a lot. Don't want a lot. That's that panel's done. Let's see where my fingers were. That panel's done. That one's done. So I think all we got are these two roll bars left to do. That's that panel. Last one. And I think we're done. So it's been the last few minutes doing a little cleaning. You all have been rather quiet tonight, which kind of expected it, honestly, because it's not like I get to do this often. So I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me for a little bit while I get to do some painting. This little apparatus has been working pretty freaking cool, if you want my opinion. Where's my cap? There it is. That's airbrush cleaner, like industrial airbrush cleaner. It doesn't clean with the crap, honestly. I use it to get rid of most of the junk. And then I'll hit it with my lacquer thinner, which is what that is. And then put your finger on the end, pull the trigger, it's going to bubble up. And what that does is it closes off the cap, but when you pull it back, it opens it. So the air pressure comes in, goes out. So instead of siphoning it down with the air pressure, it actually loops it back up into the cup. Kind of a cool little cleaning trick. And I'll do this a lot on final cleanup. So instead of sitting here and just spraying this in the air like that, you just put it in the cup and let it go. And you'll see crap coming out of it. Run that till it's clear, basically. For the most part. It's pretty cool how it works. It's like one of the best things I've ever printed in a long time, actually. Well, let me rephrase that. One of the most useful things that I've printed in a long time. I've printed some cool stuff. I've designed some cool stuff. I've got some stuff in the background going where I'm going to probably start selling some spacers for some shocks for us oval racers. And I'm going to probably start making and selling power supplies, and the proceeds that I get from that are going to go back into the channel to help me with camera gear and that kind of stuff. I sold all my old camera gear, all my spare stuff, and purchased a new GoPro 8. So, a new GoPro 8 and a memory card and a gimbal. That was a pretty big investment for myself. That was about $500. But I'm trying to up my video quality for you guys. And with that, the biggest thing with the newer GoPros is the stability. So hopefully it's easy for you guys to watch, but it's also 4K. I know I cannot produce 4K for you guys to watch yet because I am not a YouTube affiliated. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say. I guess it's affiliation. I'm not affiliated with YouTube yet. I have to have 1,000 subscribers to hit that mark. And when I hit that mark, then I can upload videos in 4K. But the biggest thing with 4K for me was being able to use the zoom. So I'm going to record it in like a full size shot, and then I'm going to zoom in on the car. So when you zoom in, you still have a decent resolution, where before on my older racing videos, when I zoomed in, it kind of looks blurry-ish. That's the reason why. It's because it's a 1080p camera, and the Ohio RC factory is ginormous. One of the largest indoor off-road tracks. So add those two together, and the picture just looks that. And I have a hard time finding somebody that's reliable enough that I can let them record with my good gear. So it kind of limits me on what I can do. So, yeah, with that, we're going to wrap this video up, guys. Well, live stream, I should say. I've got black panels painted, 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 painted. All of the accessory panels are black as well. They're all painted. The center section across the front bumper, the hood, and the deck is all going to be green. Go figure. Green, like I do everything else. And then I'm going to put a white stripe. You're not going to be able to see this. You might be able to. The top half is black. I'm going to do a pretty thick white stripe. And then the bottom is going to be green. So kind of a simple design, but I think it's going to look okay. And then as for the spoilers, I don't know what color I'm going to paint the spoilers yet. I'm thinking white. I think white will stick out really good. I thought about doing like a pink or a bright orange spoiler. I just think it would clash with the rest of my stuff. I don't use those colors in any of my other paint schemes, so why would I start now? Is basically my point. I might do chrome. You know what? That might look pretty badass too. The spoiler alert for you guys that are still here. Center cap for a short course. This was a test. Vinyl wrapped. Chrome mud cover. Kind of happy with it. So you buy them in colors. I bought black. I almost went with green. The wheels are white. And honestly, I like the white wheels too. So there's the wheels. So imagine that in the center, like so. I think it's gonna look pretty cool. But we'll see. I don't know. That was a test. I did one. Numbers are going to be chromed. Same chrome as this as well. But yeah, I'm rambling. I'm gonna let you guys go. Later, guys. I'm off to bed.